Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And we have a very interesting episode for you guys today that you want to stick around for. So make sure you go and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as all of y'all fully aware, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been participating in the Euro basket competition 2022, right? That's where he is right now. That's what he's been doing all summer. And he's currently led his Greece, his team. They're currently in the quarterfinals, right? So the team is still flourishing and they're doing well. So while Giannis Antetokounmpo has been playing basketball abroad and trying to expand the game, back stateside, we've had Gilbert has been spending his time making disrespectful and asinine comments about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, Gilbert recently came under heavy criticism from NBA fans and critics and others, analysts, because he basically said that Giannis Antetokounmpo doesn't understand the game of basketball and that he doesn't know how to be great. Now, those comments seem to fly in the face of the evidence that we can all observe, right? All of the evidence that we have, those comments fly in the face of that. And everyone has been roasting him ever since he made those comments, right? With the exception probably of the contrarians, because the contrarians are always going to find something, to defend. Now, it seems like, however, there's another person who's chiming into this conversation. What Gilbert Arenas, referring to the comments that Gilbert Arenas had to make about Giannis, and that person is Goran Dragic, who's also playing in Eurobasket. But before we get to his strong comments, right? He made some very strong comments about Gilbert Arenas. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is play what Goran Dragic had to say in response to Gilbert Arenas, and then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to that.
We have some veterans or former players from the NBA, how can I say, show some disrespect about Europeans. I mean, Gilbert Arenas didn't say good words about Giannis. Why is that?
I'm not even saying, Giannis is MVP. Gilbert Arenas, I don't know, he was ever MVP. So I don't think so, no? So he cannot talk about Giannis. I mean, Giannis won a championship, he won MVP, he won the Defensive Player of the Year. So I don't know, sometimes when they retired, you just want to be a relative, and sometimes you come out in the media, but it is what it is. Gilbert Arenas, he was an unbelievable player, unbelievable scorer, but in the end, I feel like in this generation, it's a lot of good European players in NBA who were MVP or win a championship.
So you heard what he had to say, right? You heard what he had to say. Now, after listening to Goran Dragic talk, it makes this conversation seem even more silly. Like the way he addressed it, it makes the entire thing seem foolish, to be honest with you. There is no way you cannot understand basketball and be able to win a regular season MVP, win a finals MVP, win 2 regular season MVPs, back to back, a finals MVP, a defensive player of the year, make multiple all-NBA defensive teams, make multiple all-NBA, all-NBA teams, etc. And then at the end, you say, well, this guy doesn't understand the game. Because if you're saying that he doesn't understand the game, how can you prove any other player understands the game of basketball more than Giannis Antetokounmpo? How do you prove that? What would you be basing that off of? What concrete information would you be basing that off of? And if you are pressed to give us some concrete examples instead of some, what is it? What's the word? Some outlandish comments, you would be hard pressed to provide any evidence, which means that your opinion, you're basing it off of something subjective. You're basically giving your opinion, which is divorced from reality, because the reality says otherwise. You can't say that the guy doesn't know how to play basketball, and that same guy that doesn't understand how to play basketball led his team to a championship. And because if you're saying that doesn't matter, then what kind of basketball are you exactly talking about? When you say he doesn't know how to be great, what type of greatness are you referring to? Because in the fans' eyes, when the Milwaukee Bucks won that championship and Giannis won that championship without being on a super team, basically it was just him against I believe it was the number 1 seed Phoenix Suns, if I'm not mistaken. They were one of the top seeds in the NBA at the time. It was basically him against that team. And they won it fair and square. And a lot of NBA fans have a lot of respect for Giannis. That's one thing. And talking about this has made me think about something else that I want to address here. Gilbert Arenas also said in his comments that Giannis doesn't understand how to train his body. And it makes me go back to the year the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship 2 seasons ago. If you guys remember, I think it was in the conference semifinals or the conference finals. Giannis was playing. I forgot what team he was playing against. And I believe he went up for like a dunk or like a rebound or something. And he came down and he landed on his leg and his knees buckled. It was like a freakish landing. And at that point, we thought that Giannis was going to be out of there. Like Milwaukee Bucks fans were like, okay, another guy. It was the year when everybody was getting injured. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. It was that season, right? And I think it was against the Nets. I don't remember the team exactly. And for a guy that doesn't know how to train his body, why was he the only guy that was able to come back those playoffs successfully? Why was he the only guy? Why? How did he do it? That injury would have sidelined most guys. Kawhi Leonard, my favorite player, he couldn't even come back after Joe Ingles bumped knees with him and we found out we had a partial tear, ACL tear, something like that. He couldn't come back. Giannis did. And that's one thing. And the final point I want to make here is this. For a guy that doesn't know how to be great, no objective observer of the sport will tell you that the performance that Giannis had in the NBA Finals to close out that series in Game 6, no one will tell you that wasn't one of the single greatest single game performances in NBA Finals history. You will be hard pressed to find another player that had a performance like that in a victory. You will be very hard pressed. It's going to be a very long time for you to see something like that. It's going to be hard pressed. So to me, these are my thoughts on it. I think Goran Dragic answered the question aptly by basically saying he hit him with the Jerry West or the Bob Cousy on JJ Redick. Like, yo, bro, you never won a regular season MVP, let alone a finals MVP. Meanwhile, you're telling this guy he doesn't know how to be great. Good point. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.